Hold on, I'm gonna go to this so we can real talk for a minute, right? So I know that there are a lot of people that have somewhat misconceptions about like VTubing, and I don't even want to say misconceptions, but feel like a VTuber has to have a whole character, have like lore, have a development. Like, I know that there are a lot of people that feel like VTubing needs all that, right? I don't think that's true. Yes, there are a lot of people that have a VTuber where their character or their VTuber is a character, where it is separate from them and they are not that same person, right? And then they write a whole background and there's lore and there's all these other things, and then they have to keep up with that, right? I know that there are VTubers where that is the case. That does not have to be everybody. That is 100% not me. I am still very much like, I am the same Candy, whether it is a VTuber or whether it is Flesh, right? Same difference. There is not like some additional background story that you're gonna see here. Not at all. Right? And I think a lot of people feel like they have to do that because then you also have to be additionally creative. You don't have to do that, right? So I think that is one thing that people get nervous about. I think the other thing too is like there is sometimes a component with VTubing where you are going to get people that are somewhat obsessed with VTubers, right? And you may also get people that would normally feel awkward speaking to like an actual person. And I've seen this in other VTuber streams, right? I have a good friend who I still speak to. She no longer streams. She would get a lot of children in her stream. And she would also get a lot of like awkward people who didn't know how to have a conversation, and would steer the conversation in weird directions. And I think sometimes there are those people out there that feel it's easier to talk to an animated character. So yes, that will happen, but that could happen, you know, with a regular physical person, right? Like you could have, you know, a decent looking girl on stream, or like a welcoming looking guy on stream, or a non-binary pal who just like has a warm and welcoming vibe, and you get those people who then over-identify, right? That's gonna happen, right? And that's one of the caveats with streaming that you just have to be really prepared to deal with in general, right? So I think there is always a little bit of that, but as long as you ground yourself, you can get past that. We've had people come into this channel who were like, I really care about you, and I just really like VTubers, and I really like this, and cool, that's great. If you find a place here to hang out with VTubers, cool. You want to hang out with me as a VTuber? Double cool, right? But, you know, you have to be willing, you have to be able to shrug that off, right? And if you can't shrug that off, regardless of whether you're a Flesh tuber or a VTuber or a PNG tuber or whatever it is that you are, it is going to wear you out and wear you really thin. And I think people just need to like be really aware of that. And that's not easy, but it's something that needs to be done. And I think I will be quite honest. I don't think streaming is for everybody, right? Flesh tuber. I know how it sounds. And people do be weird, right? So, you know, that's why I think it's one of those things where it's like, streaming is not always going to be for everybody, and that's okay. Because if you are somebody who has a hard time, like, standing your ground, drawing those lines, finding that middle ground, then maybe, like, recording stuff is easier because you don't have that immediate interaction, right? Or maybe you only stream with other people because you'll have someone to balance you out, someone to help you, right? And again, that's all okay. But sometimes streaming on your own is not for everybody. And I think like people figure that out, and that's cool too, and everybody will have their thing. But that's VTuber, in person, no camera, whatever, right? So yeah, you don't have to put on a persona to be a streamer. You definitely don't have to put on a persona to be a VTuber. You just have to have a little bit of a thick skin and be prepared to deal with nonsense from people. And if you can do that, I think you can be fine and can have fun. I'm not going to say you're going to be successful, because there's also a lot of luck that goes with it. A lot of luck and hard work and dedication. But you can at least have a good time. So thank you for coming to my Candy TED Talk. So, you know, that's my little nugget of knowledge for the day. Be yourself, have fun, don't listen to assholes, and if you can block the assholes out, you'll be alright. You will be alright. You know? Hashtag candy chats. I have jokingly said, I'm like, listen, we could have just full-on conversations with random things. And I think I've only done like just chatting stream like once. It's always just been like spur of the moment things like this. Having fun should 100% be the motivator, but I can't tell you the number of times that I see like, I'm gonna make it big. No, you're not. Like, if you were coming into it just to make it big, right? It's not. If you are coming in to have fun and you're open to the idea of being really successful and you want to put in that time and dedication, great. Then I wish you all the best, and I hope that you get like what you want out of it. But I think fun has to come first, and I think being realistic with expectations, because I've seen so many people get burnt out because they're like, I'm gonna be successful, I'm gonna do this, and I'm like, but boo, no, you're not. I'm gonna make tons of money off of this. Usually leads to quitting 6 months down the line. Exactly, right? And I will admit, I am one of those people who started doing this because of the pandemic, right? I am not someone who predates the pandemic. I am a pandemic Twitch streamer, right? Like, that is something that I will fully admit. But I am still here because I am still having fun with this. And the day this stops being fun is the day that we stop. The day it stops being fun is the day that we stop. But there are so many like really cool people that I've met through this. Some people that like I speak to on a regular basis. Some people that like I speak to every once in a while. Oh my god, ads, you were really not gonna run in the middle of my heartfelt speech. You get a 2-minute snooze. Like, so, you know, there are just so many factors. But yeah, I feel like if you were doing this for something that is not fun, you are in this for the wrong reasons, and it's gonna show. And it is going to show. So, you know, was too busy working the night shift. That's fair. I didn't start until September after the pandemic. You know, but it took a little bit, but I really needed that human connection, right? That human connection was so important. Told myself I want to make it big, but that's because I love streaming and making videos. But difference between then and now is I believe in myself and love myself, not using YouTube as a scrutch. And that's fair. Like, people can want to make it big, but I think the difference between I want to make it big and I'm going to make it big, right, can be very different, right? And I think what you said there is so important. You're not using it as a crutch to escape your reality, right? This is not, you know, escaping your reality. This is part of your reality and part of what you enjoy. And if you love it, then keep doing it, right? Even if it's a hobby that brings in a little bit of extra money on the side, cool. Because everybody has hobbies, but not everybody makes money from their hobbies, right? But if you were lucky enough to do that, then that's fantastic.